based in Cincinnati, Ohio, I felt obligated to make this video. When I saw that downtown Brawl video making the rounds on social media, I knew right away the story's being told all wrong. They're calling the bald guy a victim, acting like he was just minding his business when he got jumped. But let's get something straight. He started it. The full video shows him slapping and swinging at people. That's what set it all off. Not a random attack, not a mob. He escalated it. And then we have domestic terrorists like J.D. Vance and Harmeet Dillon jumping in, trying to spout their law and order propaganda. Yeah, the guy got stomped, and that's brutal. But he's not innocent. He literally put his hands on people first. And I always find it interesting, these same kind of people like to say FAFO or play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Except when the perpetrator is white. Because according to the media and domestic terrorist opportunists like J.D. Vance and Harmeet Dillon, you're allowed to go up and cause fights and start trouble, and you're the victim now, as long as you're white. I mean, Harmeet Dillon herself made it about race. When there is absolutely nothing from the videos or anything we know that says it's about race. All they seen was white person getting jumped. It must mean race. Don't let these domestic terrorists hijack and twist this story to fit a narrative.
You said social media just needed to distort the content of what actually happened. What exactly was distorted? I understand that there was multiple views of the video, but exactly what led up to this? I mean, what was distorted?
Yeah, so I think the irresponsibility with social media is it just shows one side of the equation quite frequently, without context, without factual context.
Cincinnati Brawl. Racist taunting is what led to their beatdown. Geoffrey Ingersoll playing victim for Edomite supremacy. I know you saw the video in the beginning. As you can tell, there are more sides to the story than the one that they're trying to portray inside the social media. But before I proceed, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to the Most High Yahawah and His only begotten Son, YAHAWASHI. Double honors to my elders at Great Millstone. Single honors to the elect. Peace and blessings to the 1/3. Now I'm going to read this article from a guy by the name of Geoffrey Ingersoll. And this just goes to show you that these devils, they only can be the ones who are victimized, and not us, only them, despite the fact they are the ones who initiated this beatdown that happened first and foremost to begin with. Okay? Now, he's like a chief editor at this site called dailycaller.com. Geoffrey was a writer for the Marines, okay, when he enlisted. So he's pro America. He believed red, white, and blue, you can tell. And also looking at his rhetoric that he posted about open season on white people. People, can you please tell me, has there ever been a time in mankind since 1492 that there's been an open season on Edomites? Please, by all means. What's that saying? The privileged doesn't know that they are privileged until they get challenged or something to that extent. Like Esau, you finally being challenged. Now you're saying that you're on the you're on your open season like deer. I don't see you getting run down like Ahmaud Arbery. I don't see you around here getting Mike Brown. I don't see you getting Tamir Rice. I don't see you getting Sandra Bland. I don't see you getting Brenda. What's the girl name? Forgive me. The sister, Breonna Taylor. Like, stop it. Open season on us. There's never been an open season on y'all. Nature's open season on y'all, if anything. But let's get to this article. I want to keep it out here too long, and I'm actually gonna bring out some precepts. Remember, you have a state official. She's a Judahite woman. She pretty much said they asked for the beatdown, they got it, and Edomites, oh, how could you say that? You're supposed to be a councilwoman or something like that. Even the Edomite female chief of police. I cut the video short. I will leave the link in the article to Warstar Hip Hop, because that Jake would act like a Sambo. How you gonna walk up to the side and just hit a woman like that? She wasn't even involved. You sound like that gentleman right here. That's gonna be right in this piece in this article. Who provoked the fight? People always looking at the end result, never looking at the beginning of what provoked that fight. Because when I was looking at the video, I'm saying to myself like, dang, Jake kind of going in. I mean, the man already, you know how Jake is. Jake can knock an Edomite out and keep it moving. He was really trying to put hands, feet, and blessings on that man. He was really trying to lay hands on that man. And then you know how it is. A woman tried to jump in. What do you think a Judahite woman gonna do? She jumped in too. Now the other dude hit the woman blindsided. I mean, that was some BS in a sense. But you got to be honest though. These Edomite men who are racist like that, their women know it too, and they still be with those men. They still choose to stay with those men. So I mean, technically you're an accomplice, and as a man, I don't care what race you are, you're the first line of defense. You're the vanguard. You can't go over to a group full of for one, you're a Russian man. You go to a group full of black folks, or should I say Judahite people, Israelites, and then you're gonna be smacking on them, punching on them, hitting on them after you was already verbally taunting people. See, put the whole picture out there. Give it all the context. So she's with you, and you out here constantly berating people. So you put her in harm's way. So before y'all end up looking at the result, look at all the ingredients that led up to this recipe to get their ass whooped. Now, Sirach or Ecclesiasticus 13 and 15 through 16, every beast loveth his like, and every man loveth his neighbor. All flesh consorteth according to kind, and a man will cleave to his like. Yeah, we know America's built off of racial tensions and everything. So what? Don't act like it ain't. Don't act like it's gone. It's the same government that was battling against us for centuries, that made slavery a trade, that said we were 3/5 of a man, created an amendment to legally make slavery through prison. I mean, come on. We still under the same guise of this devil. But I digress. Let's get back to this article. I'm going to leave the article in the description box and also the link to that video in the description box. But I'm not going to read most of this senseless rhetoric where he's talking. I want to get straight to the point. He says, I'm also not much for euphemism or bullshit in working class lexicon. As you well know, if you live in a city and abide by laws, especially if you're white, Edomite, consider yourself shit out of luck if you cross paths with a violent criminal. Who's the most violent criminal on earth? Wouldn't it be y'all? Stop it. See, Esau, though, they like to trauma bond. You know, it's like how they have this homoeroticism. They like trauma eroticism with our people. So they get off on watching the most degenerate things of our people on the internet. Which it's like somebody who constantly look at pornography. If you keep looking at pornography, you're going to think everybody's a freak when that's not so. So the more and more you look at the violent crimes of like you fish out and go look up the most degenerate acts that people do on the internet, you're going to constantly think that. But every day I'm not looking up who's the next mass shooter. Every day I'm not looking up who's going to be running the next pedophile ring. I'm not looking up to see who's going to be marrying their dog next. And I know y'all doing that. I'm not looking out to see which one of y'all gonna marry y'all brothers and sisters. We know y'all do that shit, but we're not looking at that. But you always look at the negative context of our people, right? So don't make it seem like we're the most violent criminal. Hell, y'all are the most violent criminals on earth. You literally wiped out, you genocided people. In Australia, where are the Aborigines right now? You've literally made extinct animals. Stop it. Let's keep going. It'd be better if you go about life with the assumption that the city will neither protect you nor seek justice on your behalf. Well, sir, even though you may be centuries late, welcome to the party. Welcome to the freaking party. Like it says, protect and to serve, but you're always serving us up in our neighborhoods, right? That way, when the people who rearrange your mother, daughter's, or sister's face at a jazz festival end up back out on the streets in no time, you won't be as disappointed. Matter of fact, let's just get that since he said that. Trying to get it. It won't let me. You know what? Fine. I wanted to show y'all the pictures of the woman that had got let's see if I can get it real quick. Here we go. So he says, that way when the people who rearrange your mother, daughter, or sister's face at a jazz festival end up back out on the streets in no time, you won't be as disappointed. Now, let's be honest. Whenever there's a violent crime, like if it's what as they call it, black on black crime, they'll be quick to let Jake out the next day or, a couple of days because they want him to go out there and continue that same act against their own people. How rare is it to have that beating be recorded, right? Which they didn't show the full context in the news, but then for them to get out on bail. That's because the city councilwoman and the Edomite police, I think she's the police chief, she said thank God. She said it's good we got the full context, the full video. Are people saying that the reaction was warranted? Some people may say it's a little overly aggressive. Some people may say that's what they get. They get what they get. Nonetheless, they reacted in that manner because not only once was he taunting people, but then he finally took it upon himself to try to put hands on people and got his ass taken care of swiftly. As you can see in the picture, it says, our serenity says, they didn't have to do them like that. He was obviously drunk. So that's an excuse? I don't get that. Oh, you didn't have to arrest him. He murdered somebody because he was drunk. He raped somebody because they was drunk. So you can just put your hands on people because you're drunk? You see the Edomites mentality here? Come on here, Geoffrey. Help me out here. That don't make sense. But then if you look at the post underneath it, Victoria Park, she says, they begged for the beatdown. I am grateful for the whole story. Notice what she said, the whole story, the same thing the chief of police said. They got the full context. Because like I said, I'm watching like Jake is really trying to take this man's head off. And then when the woman got knocked out, I'm like, dang, man, what is really going on out here? Coming to find out, he was the protagonist. He was the he was the antagonist. He was antagonizing people. So let's go. It says, fair warning, these images are explicit. I already showed the image. All right. So it says, you might think that letting the perpetrators of this violence go back on the streets as they await trial is bad, but check out what city officials have allegedly been saying on Facebook. Like I said, they begged for that beatdown. Literally, they did. You seen the Edomite in the video. He said, I'm from Cincinnati, and what the news media is saying is not true. This man was downtown instigating things, and he ended up putting his hands, and you can see him trying to swipe at somebody's face. Come on. It's all there, but y'all want to trim and edit the damn video to try and get justice for these devils who provoked them. But it's open season on y'all. The hell out of here. City Sustainability Coordinator, whatever that means, Iris Rowley, also allegedly cheered on the violence. Listen to their words, cheered on the violence, saying on Facebook about one of the victims, he deserved it all. He deserved it, all of it. So if someone's saying he deserved it, what did he do to initiate this beatdown? The Cincinnati Reds honored her just this week, putting her face on the Jumbotron and giving her the Community Advocate Award. An award-winning public official, face on the Jumbotron, saying people she doesn't know and presumably represents deserve mob violence. Who was the fucking mobster to begin with? The Russian guy, because he was provoking. Think about this, y'all. A jazz festival. You know jazz is Moai shit. This dude is Russian That dude was not the jazz festival. Don't make it. They trying to make it sound like, oh, they were just a couple at a jazz festival. No. For one, let me give you a little context too on why I think he tried to do Jake like that. Because ain't no way, not in Cincinnati. I mean, come on, y'all. Wasn't it in February when they had those Nazi nationalists in Cincinnati and Jake ran them off the block, and then they started monitoring their own city blocks with ARs and assault rifles. Men and women was out there with their face masks. So y'all act like that shit didn't happen half a year ago. You see how these devils do? Yea for me, nay for thee. So you can literally display your hatred and how violent you are with police escorts. But a man retaliates because another man crossed the line. Now you calling it mob violence. Geoffrey, I'm disappointed in you. You should do better. I'm the new Joey Swole. You should do better. Let's get back. In this case, both of these public advocates allege what almost every black advocate alleged when black people violently assault white people in plain view of the public. The white people said something racist. Is he right or wrong though? See, right now you're just speculating. This is what you think they're saying. Did he or did he not do or provoke? Did he not say something to provoke him or do something to provoke him? That's the point. Firstly, racist whites attending the Cincinnati Jazz Festival. Isn't this kind of like asking me to believe the Grand Wizard of the KKK attends a black church for mass? Well, that wouldn't be far-fetched because he might be up in there trying to kill everybody, like Darla and Ruth, but I digress. But even I said it. It's a jazz festival, so why is he there? So you're putting your foot in your mouth, sir. You're pretty much putting your foot in your mouth. So he wasn't even there. He was just there provoking the folks who was mainly in attendance, who would be who? Us. We love jazz, That's our shit anyway. Secondly, I don't care if they said something racist. See, that's the point. You don't care. We do. You can't be throwing rocks and then hiding your hand, expecting somebody not to throw that same rock back at you. That's the problem. Being racist is allowed in America. So why are you crying? And people don't understand. Racism is not a bad thing. It's like a pack of wolves running with each other, or a pride of lions running with each other, or a pack of hyenas. Races just mean that you're for your people. The word race go back to the word raza, which means seed, your lineage, your bloodline. I can be in favor of my bloodline without having to subjugate, denigrate, or to oppress another bloodline. That's Esau's problem. His racism is that I'm superior over all. And you have to subjugate the world just to remain superior, because that's how you became superior, which is why your system is falling now. Because you're spending more money on trying to subjugate the world and subjugate us here militarily that you're running out of funds. Not only that, you're running out of allies. So sooner or later, your queendom shall fall. Let me guess, you're going to blame us for that too? Anyway, secondly, I don't care if they said something racist. Being racist is allowed in America, fact. A simple FU will do in most situations, perhaps in a blunt rap in the mouth at best if women or children are directly involved. It's kind of funny how he's trying to tell us how to be racist. And, you can just simply say, fuck you, I can just call you a nigger, you just go about your day. No, Esau, the tides have turned. Ezekiel 35, 5-6, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword. In the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Let that sink in, y'all. When does it mean when our iniquity had an end? When hardcore bondage ended. That's when the most violent really started happening to us, y'all. The most violence really started happening to us after that. Because listen here, a lot of those hangings, lynchings were initiated by Edomite women. So when they talk about how that woman got clocked in the face, I'm not saying she deserved that. But don't forget how Rosewood got burned down. Because the Edomite woman was arguing with her husband. He beat her and she said, a nigga did it, and had all them people killed. Don't forget about Caroline Dunham Bryant. She lied and said Emmett Till whistled at her. And when that devil was on her deathbed, she said she lied. Don't let these people fool you. There's a book called Without Sanctuary, where there's pictures of us hanging from trees, women and children and men. And they give you the date, like 1915, 1880. Guess what? You'll see little Edomite boys and girls standing right there. Some are literally just smiling and having a grand old time. When the Lord said, never trust thy enemy, that means their whole bloodline. None of them. You see what's going on with Shannon Sharp, talking about he was being violent and wanting to hurt her. No, you was the one talking about you want to bit black babies in you. Talking all that slave talk. That's what they do. They will fantasize with you and they will sleep with you, but they will never, ever, ever marry you because they know that they will be ostracized outside of their society. They fantasize about being with us all the time. They do. Nonetheless, let's get back to it. Which brings me to thirdly, I'm all for defending the honor of your loved ones, but there's a line. You don't tell no man how to defend his woman. You cannot tell a man how to defend his woman. I'm going to say this right there, hands down. My Eve, I'm the first line of defense. I'm the vanguard. A man's supposed to protect this woman not only from domestic violence, international or foreign threats, also from male and female. My hands are bisexual. So you mean to tell me I'm going to stop a man from harming my woman, but I'm not going to stop a woman from harming my woman? Pain does not discriminate. Neither do I discriminate when it comes to defending my woman. So I'm just going to say that hands down. Okay? Dogs, spiders, snakes, a bump in the night. We're supposed to be the first line of defense, man. I don't get what nobody say. You ain't never supposed to hit a woman. I'll be damned if a woman gonna try and hurt mine. Then I gotta sit there and patch her up when we get home because I ain't do nothing. Shit. I be going to jail and my lady be bailing me out. But anyhow, let's get back to it. Which brings me to thirdly, I'm all for defending the honor of your loved ones, but there's a line. People easily could have been killed. Mind your business. You were filming it and hooting and hollering, targeting random white people. This wasn't even a random attack, Geoffrey. So I put your name in the title. And it wasn't targeting. And you were filming it and hooting and hollering. Damn, when y'all had lunches, y'all was always hooting and hollering, wasn't it? Y'all had a gathering, didn't you? Right after the Sunday service, didn't you? See how the tables have turned? I hate to use the term, but this had all the hallmarks of a public lynching. Like they want to play the victim, man. Come on. This was a public lynching. Get out of here. We don't go to listen, when y'all was lynching us openly, we wasn't going to you, provoking you before you openly lynched us. Y'all came to us because you're cowards. Remember, Esau is always going to attack our women, our children, and they're known to ambush you. Esau don't want to come at you one-on-one. They don't want to come at you one-on-one. And you'll be a damn fool to go at a group of Jakes. Remember what happened to the one Edomite that went up in that Jake's bar, calling people niggas and all this and that? They asked, hey, you know where you at? See, we'll even give you a chance to make sure you all right. You good? Then you wound up half naked on the damn news. Another Edomite man and his woman wound up beat up on the news. But y'all be doing this to us all the time. Y'all do this to us all the time. Carmelo Anthony, you can't sit here. Yes, I can. Y'all not even playing. The Edomite woman in California calling the mentally ill young boy, Jake boy, a nigger. Then she get what, $1 million in her account for that. Y'all promote. Y'all advocate for y'all blatant racism towards us. But this man just simply retaliated to another man trying to physically put his hands on him. Now it's all the mob violence. This is a public lynching. Oh, you're shit out of luck if you're white. Shut up. Y'all so afraid of losing y'all damn power. Y'all got enclaves in Arkansas and shit. Talking about some anti-black and anti-Jew. Boo-hoo. Out of here. Anyways, I hate to use the term, but this had all the hallmarks of a public lynching. It still happens to petty thieves and the like in the third world. You're the biggest thieves on earth, remember that. Except this isn't the third world. It's Cincinnati, Ohio. I bet the difference. America has now become a polished turd. Try and wrap your head around that if you can. Yeah. Anyways, while the videos show dozens of these animals attacking people, oh, I'm appalled. Well, I am a mammal, so I'm not offended. Only 3 so far as of this writing have been brought before a court. One of them simply had to pay $400 for the privilege of being back out in public. The trials have yet to be held, but already the message is clear. Your life doesn't matter. Like I said, you're centuries late, brother. Welcome to the party. If you live in a city and you are not the right kind of person, what's that? Particularly if you are productive, law-abiding, or worse yet, both and white, your life simply does not matter. You know what's funny? I'm gonna just say this real quick. In America, I think the average Edomite man makes $52,000 annually. We only make $12,000 less than that, about $40,000. You had centuries of a head start ahead of us, and you're only $12,000 more, making more than we are annually. And on top of that, when it comes to the law, we're not criminals like you are. We get arrested the most, but we are not convicted the most, because it's called racial profiling, you idiot. And a lot of crimes y'all commit, it never gets reported. Duh. So you can sit here and spew the statistic all you want, but I did do a little research on the most crimes committed per race last year. 2024, it said Hispanics committed the most immigration crimes, which in a sense, like, that's not even really violent, but okay, we'll let that go. 50%, we understand, because Esau's racially profiling. For us, for Jake, I think they said 24% goes to homicide. 24% goes to homicide. Okay, no, I'm sorry, it was 21. Forgive me, 21% go to homicide. For the Caucasian race, the Edomites race, guess what you lead in the category out of all people in the United States? Child pornography. Y'all are the sickest people on earth. Y'all wanted to pick Jake as being violent. Okay, whatever. Y'all can skew all you want. But even when they go to the Issachar, the Northern Kingdom, it's only immigration. But when it come to y'all, we already know y'all the biggest y'all the biggest robbers, the biggest murderers, and the biggest gangs in the world. But you lead everybody in the United States in child pornography. 2024, after all these Catholic priests getting shown, after all these past laws and all that, y'all still the main ones who be. I just did an article on this Edomite couple that came down from I think Colorado, that had 3 Jake kids. The oldest one was 3 years old, and they were sexually abusing them. 3-year-old children, y'all are sexually abusing. And y'all look at us as the degenerates of the world. You can kick rocks with no shoes on when it's 100-something degrees outside on asphalt. Y'all better quit lying to us. Come on, the most law-abiding. Get out of here. Anyways, he said, I suggest moving out as rapidly as possible. I concur. I concur, sir. So anyways, I'm going to close out with this one. That's Marie, Ezekiel 35:5-6 again. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity and the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord God, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee, saith. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. So don't make it seem as if you do not have this bloodlust against us. You've had it since your inception of 1492. And Mr. Geoffrey, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1:6. This is in the Apocrypha. For wisdom is a loving spirit, and will not acquit a blasphemer of his words. You speak a lot of lies here, a lot of opinions too. For God is witness of his reins, and a true beholder of his heart, and a hearer of his tongue. I'm going to leave on this note right here. Y'all are such liars. I think, forgive me, the brother's name, I think it's Richard Hamilton. The brother who they said, where they shot and killed his son, because they claim he was in a stolen car. It wasn't a stolen car. It was a car that's supposed to be repossessed. People say technically it's still stolen, but it was still in their possession because they still had it. They had to return it, but it wasn't stolen. Okay? They say he had a gun. He pointed a gun back at them. That's why they shot him. That's what the officer said in their report. That's what the news media kept feeding in the report. That's what all the county officials was repeating. Even though I'm pretty sure they all saw the video and it didn't say that. It didn't show that. Once they showed the father the video and they showed his son running away with no gun in his hand and him getting shot and killed, why the hell should we continue to believe in and trust in this justice system? I'm not saying to go Nat Turner. I'm just saying the same rhetoric and BS you was spewing about them, you didn't even get the full context of what happened. You lied just like the media does. And that's why I don't like social media or the media, period. Because media is the fourth branch of the government. Because they will already deem you guilty before you're proven innocent in the court of law. And they will destroy your character, defame your character, so that even if you're innocent, who wants to deal with you, who wants to back with you, who wants to be around you? That's what these devils do. But anyways, with that being said, truly pray y'all was edifying, fed. Stay in the spirit, don't fear it, just endure it. Ask for forgiveness, pray without ceasing, stay humble, remain diligent. Kwame Allah, Maflaba Ball, Shalom.